Hello and welcome from Ignite Medispa, Wollongong Private Hospital. Feeling good and looking good on the outside is complemented by what's going on with the inside. To that extent, at Ignite Medispa we have a science and wellness coach, Dean Kilby, who takes our patients through on our Ignite Wellness program. Dean, thank you very much for being a part of Ignite.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about your program and what we do here at Ignite with the wellness arm of the clinic?
Yeah, absolutely. So clearly, if you want to look good on the outside, you've got to take care of your internal biochemistry. It's a real thrill for me to be invited to come work with you here at Ignite, particularly given your background in biochemistry as well, and that clear understanding of the importance of looking after what's happening on the inside to prevent the earlier onset of aging. So in terms of wellness, it's not just a matter of disease prevention, it's how people feel, that level of vitality, their self-confidence and their ability to perform in life, particularly in the areas that really matter to them.
You shared a wonderful meme the other day, and for you guys it was a picture of a banana with a very healthy skin on the outside and a rotting banana on the inside. And frequently what we find in this industry is that people are very driven to look good on the outside. It's all about being, superficially attractive, but they fail to look after themselves on the inside. And this is not just a function of ensuring that, for example, the cardiovascular system or the heart system is working nicely or they're mentally relaxed and well adjusted, but it's also exactly as you've said, the biochemical and physiological processes that take place in the body. So we've got a number of different things that we do at Ignite in terms of the wellness program. We've got the intravenous infusions, which are known as Nutritional, and they basically give patients either vitamins or minerals or a number of different compounds. And then we have your fantastic weight loss program. Tell me a little bit more about it, Dean.
Yeah, the program itself, it's not just focused on weight loss, it's actually a complete metabolic reprogramming. Oftentimes when people are overweight, they're not functionally at the source of the cause of the weight gain. We have a hormonal imbalance that not only causes people to gain weight, but prevents them from losing weight. So this needs to be reprogrammed, and it works very well in conjunction with the advanced nutrient support that you offer via the intravenous infusions to really empower the cell's ability and our metabolic rate to reverse that dysfunction. And along with the metabolic reprogramming comes a lot of patient education. It's really critical that we educate and we invest the time in working with the patient such that they can then be independently responsible for their own well-being long-term.
And I cannot emphasize that enough. Patients must necessarily take responsibility for their health, and one of our roles as clinicians, scientists and so on is to ensure that we have got patients that understand what they're doing, what we're doing, and therefore in many ways we're helping them to help themselves. You're excellent with a lot of that stuff, and your ethos fits beautifully with the clinic. Now, just for the benefit of the listeners, by metabolic reprogramming, tell me what exactly that means.
Yeah, sure. So often people are overweight, they have a cluster of symptoms that we call metabolic syndrome. 2/3 of the adult population in Australia, in fact, deal with metabolic syndrome. This includes high blood glucose, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and too much fat around the belly. We call that central adiposity. This can result in a number of issues, in particular inflammation, and there are terms like inflammasome and inflammaging. So inflammation accelerates the aging process. This excessive weight gain is often caused by too much sugar consumption. So
in many ways, sugar or refined white sugar is the devil's powder, and that's something that you and I always ensure we discuss with our patients. So let's say that somebody comes along and they start on the wellness program that you lead very nicely, what kind of changes can they expect and over what period of time?
Yeah, we start them with an initial intravenous infusion. I always prefer that to really bathe the cells with the micronutrients that they may be deficient in.
Yes.
The nutritional program, nutrition is the foundation of everything that I manage on the wellness side of things. We put them on a carbohydrate restricted diet to limit glucose toxicity. And this is not just low carbohydrate, this is carbohydrate restricted. So we...
Tell me what you mean by low versus restricted, again for the benefit of
Yeah, sure. A lot of people might think that they've cut sugar out. However, there are foods that are pretty obvious in terms of causing weight gain and metabolic derangement. Sugar is one. The average Australian consumes about 42 kilograms of sugar every year.
Wow.
Which is a lot. Sugar it's toxic in our bodies, so it glycates proteins, causes advanced glycation end products. Glycation is a term that people are beginning to learn. This accelerates aging, but it also causes too much insulin. Insulin causes us to gain weight and increases inflammation. So we want to give the body a real break from this glucose toxicity. Yes. The problem is when you're attempting to lose weight, people will eat less calories. Then they lose too much muscle mass. Traditionally, they've gone into the gym and attempted to do resistance training to try and protect that muscle. We've exhausted their muscle glycogen stores because now they're not eating carbohydrates.
So glycogen is the storage energy that the body uses when more easily accessible forms of energy are not available, is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. So then people become too fatigued, and then they have to be even more diligent and disciplined with their diet. It's really hard for people to do it on their own.
So in many ways what you're saying is, on this program, people can lose weight without really losing any muscle mass.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That is the key. I have zero tolerance for any loss of muscle mass. We put them on a carbohydrate restricted program. Yes. We give them adequate amounts of protein, not high amounts of protein, just enough that's been clinically demonstrated to protect their lean mass. We ensure that they get plenty of quality whole foods. They'll be consuming a good volume of vegetables and salad, and also some quality whole food protein as well as the partial meal replacement program or supplements that we offer here from Ignite.
Got it. And I know you're very hands-on with the patients, and one of the key things that I think makes your input wonderful is how accessible you are when patients perhaps may be needing that extra encouragement or push. But in terms of numbers, men and women, what kind of weight loss do they typically get, say, every week or something like that?
Yeah, just nutritionally, without any strenuous exercise at all, women will typically lose 1 to 1.5 kilograms of fat per week, and men will typically lose 2 to 3 kilograms of fat per week.
So in many ways, what you're saying is if someone is, say, 100 kilos and their ideal body mass should be about 70, at the end of a 20-week program, you can actually almost get them onto that correct body mass.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is incredible. Now, for me as a surgeon, what does this mean? Well, it means that when someone has lost a weight and they have loose skin and other areas that need a little bit of a nip and tuck, they are better suited for the general anaesthetic. As we know, all procedures involve risk, and one of the considerations is the anaesthetic component. So if a patient is closer to their ideal body mass, it means that they are going to have a better anaesthetic performance, or during the operation, the anaesthetist and the surgeon and the whole team are going to be that much more confident that everything is going to go as planned. And it also means that my work is easier because I'll have less to cut, less to sew, etc., which again reduces the anaesthetic time, therefore makes it better for the patient. So really, your input, my input, can yield some magical results. And this is really the way the industry should be going, rather than focusing in a disparate way with aesthetics on one side and weight loss and well-being on the other. The correct thing is to fuse it. So thank you once again. This is a wonderful program at Ignite Medispa, and we would love to have you here. And as I've said all through our videos, education is key. Whether you decide to proceed with the program or not, we know that you'll be leaving a more educated and knowledgeable person. Thank you.